She is. Good morning. Welcome to Money and Mindset with the Doctors. I am Dr. Stephanie Ardrey, known as Dr. Money, and we have Dr. Thyonne Gordon, known as Dr. Story Genius. Good morning, TG. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, I'm back to our happy place where all of this began.
I know. We've been broadcasting there for the last couple of weeks, and you're still there, but you're actually at the grill.
Right. I'm back in the grill. I'm actually at White Sands. I went up to Pelican Lookout, and unfortunately, the internet was down, so I had to come back down to the hotel and broadcast from here. But so anyway. So today we've got an exciting show during Women's History Month and International Women's Day and all of those other festivities. How you feeling? What you up to?
I am feeling great. You know, it's International Women's Month. On the day we were actually supposed to be broadcasting on Tuesday, I guess Monday was International Women's Day. And I was thinking, why don't we have the day off? So I guess yesterday we took the day off because we're women. We should be able to do that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm so excited today because we're going to have an interview with Shanita, who's the other half of the Sip and Sonder partnership and the founder of the Los Angeles Black Investors Club. So excited to talk about them and also to be able to find out. They had a very special recognition that happened last week that we want to talk about. So Shanita, as you may know, our audience, you guys may not know, but Shanita is an attorney who happened to be licensed both in New York, moved to California. She and her partner began a business, Sip and Sonder, in Inglewood, while both still active as attorneys, as well as founding the Los Angeles Black Investors Club with the goal of helping to support new and up and coming entrepreneurs. So it's exciting to have Shanita now, especially, well, Shanita was, believe it or not, when I was hanging out with AJ and got into all kind of trouble, which AJ is not responsible for, hint, hint. Shanita happened to be up in the Blue Mountains sourcing coffee at the same time. So anyway, without any further ado, why don't I bring her into that?
Shanita was about the business and you guys were about the busy.
That's probably true. Hey, Shanita, hey.
Hey, you guys have me over here laughing.
I know. Poor AJ. She got all kind of trouble for me cutting up.
I'm actually at AJ's house, so I will get over at her.
Okay. AJ was the one who let the genie out the bottle with Dr. Money.
No,
I didn't know what she was doing though. Right. I forgive her.
You know, it's it's that balance. You got to have the balance.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Shanita. Tell us a little bit about you and Sip and Sonder. Exactly. What's going on?
Of course. Yeah, no, it's great to be here and happy to International Women's Month to you both as well. But a little background on me and how I met AJ and Sip and Sonder was formed. Kind of a winding story to coffee. I actually started as an engineer, doing some immuno therapy work at Columbia, and then moved into some comp sci, electrical engineering, as an IT consultant at Booz Allen, Hamilton in DC, and then went back to school. And so I started a career and completely flipped it. I went back to Columbia for a JD MBA, where I focused on private equity and entrepreneurship, which is kind of the underpinning of everything that I get to do now in ways. So it feels winding, but it all makes sense to me. I started my first law job at a firm in New York, and that's where I met Amanda, the infamous AJ, on the call. And we just talked about our passions. I started making the joke, which is not so much a joke now, that I went to law school and became a lawyer so I could could work inside of coffee shops and drink coffee all day. So, that, you know, it's not really that far from the truth. It certainly is, you know, a big passion of mine. You know, Amanda talked about how much she really is, you know, into placemaking and community and creativity. And so we just fuse those things together, bringing coffee as a conduit into the community. And thus was born Sip and Sonder. And then Steph kind of mentioned the LA Black Investors Club, of which we are so thrilled and honored to have her as a board member for these past, what, three years now? The time has gone by so quickly. Really the underpinning of the work that I get to do in the law side as well, working with entrepreneurs, working with venture capitalists, getting money and capital access into our community, and expanding on the different ways that we can do that and how we can support one another in that. So I am all about entrepreneurship, all about capital, and all about coffee.
That's fantastic. Entrepreneurship, capital, and coffee. Those all seem to go together.
All those ingredients are so critical.
So tell us a little bit about where Sip and Sonder is right now. COVID pandemic has happened, and most coffee shops have closed down or maybe doing curbside only. How did Sonder handle this pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, it was not easy. I won't say, you know, we pivoted, but it was really thoughtful in response at the beginning, where we had to furlough our team. We moved through that, brought our team back. So we actually have our full team back plus. So we've been hiring, which is amazing to be able to do during a pandemic. And then also, you know, started our roasting company. So we're doing e-commerce, shipping across the world now, which is really exciting. And then Steph kind of alluded to our last week this day. So last Wednesday, you know, we were on the Ellen show, and just to be able to see the work that we both put in and our whole team really put in during this past year be recognized and acknowledged. You know, we don't do it for recognition and acknowledgement, but it certainly isn't a bad thing to get that, and also especially when it comes with a combined monetary influence as well. And so we had, you know, got a pretty significant check size with that showing. So thankful for the entire Ellen team that worked towards getting that. And Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer were in it. And that part, to me, the money is amazing. The part that there are people who are, you know, at the levels that they are, recognizing the work that we're doing in Inglewood is just amazing.
That's amazing.
It's
it really
like
is
a dream come true. Yeah.
Congratulations on that. And then in the Inglewood community, which has always been considered the hood and things like that, and elevating this community at the same time, bringing in the coffee, the idea of coffee. When they first started Starbucks, we were told, well, we don't have Starbucks in the Black community because Black people don't drink coffee. We didn't drink enough coffee to put them in the Black community. And Magic put his name on some shops. So, hey, we drink coffee, and of course had the #1 revenue producing coffee shop when they first opened in our community. So to actually have a something open that wasn't a branded Starbucks, but your own Sip and Sonder, and to grow that during a time of pandemic where you had to go from furloughing people to being able to bring them back because you pivoted, you changed your business a bit, but still stayed within that same business line. That is to be congratulated. So big round of applause. Congratulations. AJ was on the show sharing with us how you were now sourcing coffee. Tell us a little bit about the fair trade and where are you sourcing through and how is that working?
Yeah. We, you know, I like to pivot towards direct trade. And what I like about direct trade is that you actually know the farmers, you know what the story is behind the coffee. And you said something that really struck me of, you know, Black people drink coffee. Not only that, Black people make coffee, Black people are harvesting coffee, you know, and so having that direct storyline. And so when we look at sourcing coffee, you know, initially we're going through our roaster company, Bellwether, and they have importers and buyers that are on the ground and giving those stories, and that we can talk to at any time and really understand how, what that direct trade is to the source as we move into our own specific, even closer direct trade, and being on the ground, going to the countries that we're sourcing from, the cities, the communities, the villages, and actually getting to know them. Steph also kind of mentioned our time in Jamaica and when I was in the Blue Mountains. And I know AJ has connections within the Blue Mountains as well. And so we're talking directly to the owners of those spaces, of those farms, and where the coffee is actually coming from. And so, I think fair trade is certainly a great terminology. It can get a little lost in what that story is and where it's actually coming from when we think about pricing. What I love about direct trade is that means I know where this bean is coming from exactly, and I know the story, and I know how they're utilizing funds, I know how the contracts are being negotiated, and that's really important to us as we look for this sustainable, traceable, direct trade sourcing of coffee.
So what does Sip and Sonder look like now as we're reopening? What happens? Is there a what's going on?
It's interesting. So right after this call, we're why I'm at AJ's house now, we're going to head over and look at some glass enclosures and start building out. So we're looking at regulations, trying to determine what is safest for both our team members and the community that we sit within. That is paramount, making sure that we're safe. Where Black communities are the hardest hit by this pandemic. Inglewood, within kind of the area of LA County, is one of the hardest hit communities, and so we're mindful of that, and we're also mindful of what it means to be with one another, what it means to connect, and what it means to have community. And so finding that balance of physical safety and mental and emotional safety as well, of getting through this together. How do we balance that? How do we get both the glass enclosures, and how do we bring on, the virtual aspects of it as well? Especially as we kind of move towards in the next 3 weeks, our 2-year anniversary, thinking through just how are we coming together? How are we able to do this in the most healthy, safe way? Great.
But you are planning on reopening in some way, some form.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We've extended. I know. We're so excited. It feels, there's still a lot of work to do. There's certainly still a lot of work to do to get to that point, but that is the plan. We're not gonna, it may not be day one when they say you can open your doors, because there's no reason to rush it again from a healthy, safe perspective, but we are running towards that.
Great. Well, congratulations. Dr. Money, do you have any money questions for Shanita?
Well, actually, what I want to have her speak about is our upcoming virtual pitch event for the Los Angeles Black investors. We were able to take what was normally a live event hosted by Sip and Sonder, and we put it online, and it continued to grow and thrive. So we're so happy to bring that programming around again. We have applicants who've already signed up. I know I've announced it. We wanted to announce it again today. But Shanita, how are we looking, and who are our judges this time?
Yes, I am so excited for this round. And the last virtual one went amazingly. I just was talking to our second place winner from that, and she just got her, I'll let her tell the stories, but there's some good news from her coming. So, that pipeline is still continuing. And next, this Thursday, we have Dr. Money giving some learning series sessions in the lead up to it. So excited for that. And then next Thursday will be the pitch itself. And so we have 3 amazing judges from the VC ecosystem from both LA and New York and Texas. So we get to bring the world into the fold now that we're virtual, which is awesome. A great pivot that we were able to do this past year. Ida Henry's in New York, who I actually went to business school with, and she has her own firm now, advising and servicing entrepreneurs coming from a global financing opportunities at the bank she was with. Gerard Barnes, who was at the Rams and now has moved into a full-time position as a managing director at a venture capital firm in Texas, and Shane Kelly, who is managing director at Wolverine Angels, who was an early judge, I think one of our first judges a couple of years ago. And so we brought him back in the fold to judge this one, and excited to announce we always do a one-on-one prize with the winner. So we have Mike Sue out of the Snap Inc. Accelerator Program, Yellow, and they look at kind of that intersection of technology, creativity, community, all of it combining, and so excited to be able to offer the winner that prize, in addition to our monetary prize, which is always great, that we just keep increasing. So $5,000 across the top 3 winners, $3,000 going to first place, 15 to second, and $500 to the third place winner out of this competition. In addition to that, we were able to also secure a legal package from actually a law firm that I used to work at, a startup law firm. They're going to be providing $5,000 in-kind legal package to the winner as well, in addition to access to their entire advisory network. And so it is a great competition coming up. We are so thrilled, and all the companies are so deserving. Steph and I have a sneak peek behind the scenes of who will be pitching next week, but thrilled to see them pitch. We'll be announcing that in the next, I think tomorrow, the actual round 1 applicants who will be going in front of our judges and pitching. So no, super thrilled, so excited that we get to continue this. I count the years, and I can't believe how long we've been doing this. And it's still several more years to come, but it feels like we started last year, and it's been 4 years or plus that we've been able to put this program on.
That is fantastic. Wow. Congratulations on the Pitch Fest as well. Now, how do we find the Pitch Fest? What is the information on it?
Yeah, so we're a couple of ways. So we're both on our website, the LABlackInvestorsClub.org, and all the information is on there. And then also prevalent on both Instagram and Facebook. I think we push out to Twitter as well, and that's going to be at LA Black Investors Club. All of those platforms are available. We'll be pushing it out some more this week through those as well.
All right. LA Black Investors Club. Is it LABlackInvestorsClub.org?
Correct. Yeah. LA Black Investors Club. Investors. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that is amazing. Well, thank you for sharing that. And we look forward to being able to see the information and maybe tuning in, being part of the audience to watch the pitch.
Yes. No, but love that. It'll be a fun one. They're always fun. Always informative and fun.
Yes. I love it. Now, are there mostly women involved, or is it, since we're in International Women's Month, I have to ask?
Yeah, it's a mix. It's a mix. So we have a good amount. There's obviously several women running the show behind the scenes. So we definitely influence that, and are happy to utilize the resources that we have across the community and support one another in that way.
Okay. All right. Dr. Money, you still there? I think she may have gotten frozen a little bit there, but I'm sure in Jamaica, that's kind of
that's what happens. I greatly appreciate the time here, and this is just awesome what you both are doing, and I'm looking forward to hearing more of your story as well, and getting to chat with you some more.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure meeting you and meeting AJ. This has been fabulous learning about Sip and Sonder in our Inglewood, California community. So we want to make sure everybody knows that you're there. You're still there. We'll be reopening soon. Sip and Sonder. Stay tuned for Sip and Sonder and Shanita and AJ coming back with that grand opening. So thank you so much, Shanita, for joining us. And I know you had some other things to do today, so we're going to let you go.
Awesome. All right, ladies. Take care.
All right. Thanks. All right, Dr. Money, you're back.
Yes, I know. It's like the beautiful thing about internet in Jamaica. We're still working on it, and we're still hoping that we can disrupt this monopoly and bring in some more support so that we
That's
can
the
get reliable
opportunity.
internet. Exactly.
That's the opportunity. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you with the LA Black Investors coming up. Still, thank goodness it's virtual, so you could still stay in your happy place.
Yes, yes, I'm excited about that.
Yes, yes. So what else is going on with you? Last week we had the Black in Jamaica. We're right out of Black History Month into Women's History Month.
Absolutely. So we're so excited. We have now begun to take people who are interested in the wellness rejuvenation 7-day rejuvenation retreat. So we're going to be taking on more couple or individuals that want to take that experience. We started off with booking one person. That's now extended to
So I think it's extended to several people. We've got Dr. Money frozen a little bit again, but I'm sure she'll join us back again. The Wellness Center, it's 420 Wellness, and you can find that online as well with the Wellness Center. We want to say good morning to those of you who joined us. I give a little shout out to Greg, who comes and joins us often. I really appreciate you always tuning into us, Greg. And Greg has his business. Greg has been on here before with his financial planning business. Now, we also want to talk again. Remember, 420 Wellness Jamaica. I just saw Dr. Money typed it in. We also want to acknowledge, of course, Women's History Month and all the women whose shoulders we stand on, and how appreciative we are of being able to stand on these shoulders and understanding just who they are and how far they've come. In particular, I want to recognize Cicely Tyson, who we lost over the last couple of weeks. And Cicely Tyson is just a major impact in our community, in particular in the Black community, being in movies and in television, in film, through her entire life, and accepting the roles and fighting for the roles that she believed would elevate her people and would elevate women. Kudos and an honor to stand on the shoulders of someone like Cicely Tyson. We honor her today during International Women's Month. And thank you guys for joining us. I see Dr. Money, you're back. Did you have anything else that you wanted to go over before we sign off on this?
No, I just wanted to say again, thank everybody for jumping on today, allowing us to move our date by a day just so that I could be in my happy place. Thanks, Greg. Shout out to Greg. Greg is right there supporting us. We appreciate that. Shout out to Shanita and Amanda Jane over at Sip and Sunder. Look out for Los Angeles Black Investors Club. If you want to pitch your business, there's still an opportunity. So join in. And, hats out to you. We're talking briefly about Beyond Story and the importance of creating the stories. So for those of you that need the guidance and touch of Dr. TG on your story, don't miss the opportunity to reach out to Beyond Story, because that's where the brilliance and the story intersect to get a positive message out there. So that's it for me.
Well, thank you for that, Dr. Money. And we're going to see you guys next Tuesday at 9 a.m., our regular time, once again, where we'll be discussing money and mindset, making sure that your mindset stays focused so that your money can come in the right way. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Take care, everyone.